There is a whole bunch of economic news coming out this week, but there's a few things that you guys really need to focus on because they're going to determine where the market goes over the next few weeks. First of all, on Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the federal rate hikes. We don't know if we're going to have another rate hike, but we have seen inflation going up and up and up and up over the last few months. That's not good. One caveat here that I just kind of realized over the last few days is I've been watching some of these Trump interviews when he's talking about economics and what he may do if he comes back into office, just to kind of forecast a little bit of a longer term plan. Now, what I've learned is he wants to fire Jerome Powell. He thinks Jerome Powell is not doing a good job. And so if he gets back into office, he's going to try to fire him. And you guys know that higher inflation is definitely not going to be to the benefit of Joe Biden. So if I were Jerome Powell and I was thinking in my own self-interest, which is totally okay because that's what they always do over there in Washington, D.C., I would say I would raise by 25 basis points, and then that's it. That's the cap. You're paused. There's a good chance we're going to roll over into a recession next year, but the sooner we get it over with, the better. If you're me, at least, right? Now, the next big thing I want you guys to focus on right now is going to be on Thursday. We're going to have two things that I want you guys to really focus on. The first thing is an initial jobless claims. We just want to see if people are still working. There shouldn't be too much of a surprise there, but just watch out. Sometimes we have a little bit of a shock and then people freak out. Usually the thing that's important is not the actual jobless claims for this week or this month. It's actually the revisions that are done over the data from the past, because sometimes that can lead to a different story. And when all that data comes back in, that can actually have more of a shock on the overall market. Next, we're going to have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey. This is going to be crucial. You guys know that there's a lot of manufacturing jobs in the United States, even though a lot of them have been obviously sent over to other countries out there. But we're supposed to be going from 12 to -2. So that's not going to be a good look at all, okay? I'm not going to go too much into detail of the numbers of why it's only 12 and 2. Just understand the growth is not there. We're about to have a contraction. That's going to be a very bad sign, but perhaps we have a surprise and it ends up still being positive. We'll have to wait and see. But those are a couple things I would really want you guys to focus on. And just to remember that we have a lot of things like the NASDAQ, the Dow, all looking like they want to break down right here. SPY is a little bit better. But if we're on the verge of a breakdown and we have bad news for the interest rate hikes or something like that, we're going to have a market drop of about another 10 to 15% over the next couple of months, which is going to be pretty painful. And I do want to remind you guys, if we do raise rates, usually that's an okay sign for the market because that's going to push the dollar back down. The last few times the dollar's been soaring since July when we had that spike in inflation, what's been happening? Assets have been going more sideways, if not more down overall. So it's going to be a mixed bag on Wednesday. Sometimes good news is bad news and bad news is good news. Bad news would be another rate hike, and sometimes that actually is what we're looking for here, okay? Today's video is sponsored by TapBit, a global cryptocurrency exchange that's been blowing up recently as Binance has been going downhill. Ever hunted for a specific token and just couldn't find it on other exchanges? Well, TapBit has got you covered. They feature hundreds of tokens for you to buy, trade, and explore. But what really sets TapBit apart? Speed and reliability. We're talking hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. So when you decide to sell, you can be confident you're getting the exact price you see on the screen. No surprises. And for my awesome viewers, TapBit is offering something you won't want to miss. Use my link in the description below and you'll get a whopping 10% back on your trades. Yep, you heard right, 10% back. So why wait? Head over to tapbit.com and make your crypto trading experience a smooth one.